NASA's Mega Moon rocket has gone for its first drive outside the Vehicle Assembly Building at Kennedy Space Center. The assembly of the multi-stage rocket began at the VAB back in late 2020. Now, the Space Launch System, or SLS, is ready for its public debut. It's hitched a ride from the Vehicle Assembly Building to the launch pad atop a crawler transporter. This 50-year-old piece of machinery was first used to transport Saturn V rockets during the Apollo era. It's been retrofitted to carry the weight of the SLS and the mobile launch platform. They weigh in at about 18 million pounds. If you want to better understand what makes the transporter move, listen to John Giles, the Transporter Operations Manager.
We kind of joke and call this the original Prius because it is kind of a hybrid vehicle. We use diesel engines that are hooked to a generator, and then those generators they create DC current. That DC current gets supplied to 16 of these traction motors. There's 2 on each tread belt, and that's what turns our tread belts. And we run on the original Alco engines, which stood for American Locomotive Company, V16 engines, and they are 2,750 horsepower.
The crawler transporter zips along at about a mile an hour, so the trip to the launch pad takes about 11 hours. At the pad, the rocket will undergo a wet dress rehearsal. That includes loading fuel and conducting a launch countdown, but stopping just before ignition. If all goes well, the first launch of the SLS will be in a few months. The rocket will take the Orion spacecraft around the moon and back. The SLS is the modern equivalent of the Saturn V, about the same height and split into segments or stages stacked on top of each other. The rocket also incorporates technology from the Space Shuttle. The main engines originally flew on shuttle flights and were refurbished. The first flight of the SLS and Orion with a crew on board will happen no earlier than 2024, with a landing on the moon by 2025. I'm Rick Lasby for WFIT, Public Media for the Space Coast.